Hello?
Hello, how can I help?
I killed my daughter. I killed my daughter.
Sara Sharif's life had been marked by secrecy and suffering. A bright, joyful child, she loved singing along to the X Factor and practiced her faith quietly, often wearing a hijab to cover the injuries inflicted in the privacy of her own home. Yet behind closed doors, Sara endured a pattern of abuse that would shock the nation. On Friday the 11th of August 2023, a 999 call brought Surrey police to the Sharif family home.
Hello?
Hello, how can I help?
I killed my daughter. I killed my daughter.
Nothing is okay. I punished my daughter and she died. I killed my daughter. I killed my daughter. She's only 10 years old. Oh my God. I panicked and left home. I didn't mean to kill her, but I beat her too much. It happened about 36 hours ago. I'm a cruel father. I promise I'll come back. I'll face the death sentence. Officers arrived at the home address and gained entry. On the face value, the house was very clean. Officer made their way upstairs where Sara was lying dead in her bed. Next to her, they discovered a chilling detail. A handwritten note left with Sara's body in which Sharif admitted responsibility, revealing the deliberate and calculated nature of the abuse. Whoever see this note, it's me, Irfan Sharif, who killed my daughter by beating. I am running away because I am scared. But I promise that I will hand over myself and take punishment. I swear to God that my intention was not to kill her. But I lost it. My daughter is Muslim. Can you bury her like Muslim? Maybe I will be back before you finish the post-mortem. It was until forensics team took over the crime scene and discovered details. There were blood marks on the kitchen floor and the Hoover pipe, a blood-stained cricket bat by the outer building along with ropes, hoods, and discarded soiled clothing. The investigation quickly expanded. Texts between Sharif's wife and her sister emerged, adding intimate insight. Sharif has gone crazy hitting Sara again. I don't know what to do. These messages highlighted the awareness of those in the house, the fear and the moral tension surrounding Sara's torment. Sara was made to wear a hijab. Some believed she was beginning to practice Islam, but the reality was darker. The hijab hid injuries on her face and body. Sara attended school with a mark on her forehead, and teachers raised concerns with the family. This was the moment Irfan Sharif told the school they had decided to homeschool Sara from then on. Was the homeschooling a cover-up? A way to prevent people seeing Sara's injuries? What did the school do to protect her? Were social services properly involved, and did they carry out a home visit? We will cover that later in the video. The day after Sara's death, Sharif and his wife fled to Pakistan with Sharif's brother and 5 children. Heathrow CCTV later showed the family arriving in a BMW X5, passing through border control and boarding a flight to Islamabad. The 999 call made clear Sharif had left the property and told police he would return. He said he was traveling in a car when he spoke to the operator. International pressure mounted rapidly. Punjab police carried out repeated raids to find Sharif, initially without success. Tactics intensified. Relatives were detained to force cooperation, and eventually authorities found the leads they needed. Sharif's father told the BBC his son had been frightened and fled in panic. No one publicly offered support for Sara. Cornered, Sharif and his wife released a desperate video statement claiming their relatives' lives were in danger. Realizing there was nowhere left to hide, the couple, together with Sharif's brother, booked flights back to the UK. They traveled in business class, perhaps for a last moment of calm before facing justice. When their plane touched down at Gatwick, armed officers met them on board. They surrendered quietly at their seats, a calm, inevitable end to their flight from the law. Officers escorted them from the aircraft, and the legal process began. The Old Bailey became the stage for one of the most harrowing child abuse trials in recent UK history. The proceedings stretched for 10 weeks, each day peeling back layers of Sara's suffering. Irfan Sharif initially tried to shift blame onto his wife, claiming he was often away driving as a taxi driver and that she spent most time with Sara. But as the prosecution laid out meticulous evidence, he admitted to the killing. On legal advice, he sought to reduce his liability, arguing he had not intended to kill Sara. attempting to transform a murder charge into manslaughter. His chilling line in court, "I legally punished her and she died," captured the premeditated cruelty the evidence revealed. Baynash Batul, Sara's stepmother, chose not to give evidence in her defense and refused to provide a dental impression that might have been compared with bite marks on Sara's body. Forensic experts could not confirm whether she had inflicted certain injuries, but her refusal cast further doubt over her role in the household. The prosecution presented a gruesome catalogue of injuries: 71 separate wounds to ribs, shoulder blades and fingers, 11 fractures to the spine, a puncture wound to the head, a traumatic brain injury, a burn from a domestic iron, scalds from hot water, restraint injuries, blunt force bruising and human bite marks. Each object recovered from the home, a plastic-coated metal pole, a rolling pin, belts, ropes, and a homemade plastic hood taped to her head, was linked to Sara's wounds. Post-mortem evidence showed she had been tied to a plumbing pipe and left in a soiled nappy, unable to move for hours. The jury saw images that connected each object to her injuries, painting a picture of systematic torture. As witnesses described the daily horrors, neighbors spoke of screams and sudden silence. Texts from Sharif's wife were read aloud in court. "Sharif has gone crazy, hitting Sara again. I don't know what to do." Each testimony brought the jury closer to the full scale of Sara's suffering. On Wednesday, the 11th of December 2024, after deliberation, the jury returned its verdicts. Irfan Sharif and Baynash Batul were convicted of murder. Faisal Malik was convicted of causing or allowing the death of a child. They received the following custodial sentences: Irfan Sharif, 40 years; Baynash Batul, 33 years; Faisal Malik, 16 years. Even after conviction, danger followed inside the prison walls. Irfan Sharif was attacked in custody, an incident described as non-life-threatening, a stark reminder that the repercussions of his actions persisted. Baynash formed a troubling friendship with another inmate, a former nurse convicted of killing 7 children, hinting at the disturbing social dynamics that can exist behind bars. The case raises broader questions. Were Irfan and Baynash products of cycles of violence and trauma, or is this an issue of nature versus nurture? Sharif's past was riddled with allegations of aggression. He moved to Britain from Pakistan in 2001, and former partners later described threats, violence, and captivity. Olga Domin, Sara's mother, was considered vulnerable by authorities, and the family later described Sharif as a manipulator. By the time Sara was born in 2013, child protection measures had already been put in place. Baynash, too, came from a troubled background, having endured honor-based abuse and familial estrangement. Yet the particular cruelty shown towards Sara prompts difficult questions. Why did she suffer while the other children did not? Some experts suggest it may have been intentional. Sara's mother was not Muslim, and there was a fear within the household that Sara could one day disrupt notions of family honor. Sara Sharif's tragic death also exposed systemic failures, particularly within social services. Despite earlier concerns, Sara was taken into care and later returned to her family. Questions remain about whether safeguarding measures were adequate. In the aftermath of her murder, social services acknowledged involvement but were criticized for a lack of transparency and concrete accountability. This story is tragic, unsettling, and deeply instructive. From the abuse she suffered at home, to the chilling evidence presented over a 10-week trial, to the convictions of Irfan Sharif, Baynash Batul, and Faisal Malik. The courtroom delivered justice, but it cannot bring Sara back. Even after conviction, the case's shadow stretched beyond the courtroom. Prison incidents and troubling inmate relationships showed how far the consequences reached. It forces us to ask hard questions about behavior, accountability, and the cycles of abuse that permitted this to happen. Sara's life was taken far too soon, but through justice, reflection, and awareness, her story can serve as a warning. A call for vigilance, compassion, and action. She now lies peacefully in eastern Poland, near the undisclosed village where her mother lived after Sara's death, buried under her mother's surname, Domin. Prime Minister Keir Starmer described Sara's death as awful and urged tighter government oversight of homeschooled children. Speaking in Parliament, he promised lessons would be learned from the case. Soon after, the Department for Education announced it was drafting new regulations on homeschooling, aimed at preventing vulnerable children from falling through the cracks. Thank you for watching True Crime Uncovered UK. Don't forget to subscribe and like to stay updated on the cases that matter. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, keep asking why.